Ray McKinnon, welcome to this one-to-one. I'm absolutely delighted to have you on this programme, because the first thing I'm going to ask you, it might put you on the back foot here, but you don't become a bad manager overnight.
Hopefully not. You know, it's I think it's just part of the game nowadays. I think I think every manager has to go through being sacked, and it allows you to definitely take stock of where you are in your life and how you are as a manager. So hopefully that's not the case with me, and there's plenty more management jobs for me in the future.
Yeah, is it still painful?
I was at the time. I was very, very disappointed to lose my job after so early in the season. We worked so hard over the season to put a new team together. We brought in 14 new players, and it takes time. If
I could have been a fly in the wall, was there a moment where you sat down when you knew the axe was falling? One, did it catch you by surprise? Two, did you at any point say to the chairman, hang fire here, think long and hard, because somebody must have got his ear? That was my assessment of it.
I'd only lost 2 games in 18 months at home, and the second game I lost at home I got the sack on the back of it, but I accept it. Listen, I don't have any hang-ups. It would have been nice if he'd come to me and said, listen, we've got 2 or 3 games, we really need a change in fortune. That would have been nice, but it never happened. And as I said, I was a wee bit taken back at the time, but I accept it, and it's just part of life and part of football.
Let me get an insight into Ray McKinnon based on the fact that I look back at some of the managers you've worked for and I'm thinking, oh wow, Cloughy, all the way to Jim McLean and Willie Miller in between.
Aye. Jim McLean, I was brought up with Jim since I was 9. He used to come and watch us on the Sunday League and that, and I got on great with him, contrary to what people think. And he was a one-off. He was excellent. Just in his coaching, his standards he set. Nobody. You had to toe the line every day. Every day you had to be up there, and I think that's something you probably heard this from a lot of people who worked under him. That's something that's set inside you. That you set standards when you take training, and nobody falls below those standards. And that's something Jim certainly gave us. But it was quite a change going from Dundee United to Nottingham Forest and then encountering Brian Clough. They're just at the opposite ends of the spectrum. Brian was just so, everything was so easy. Let's have a walk down the Trent with his dog, and we're not going to train today, we're just going to walk back. That was unheard of for me to experience that sort of different styles of management, and it was a huge shock. At the same time, don't get me wrong, I enjoyed it. But yeah, incredible difference in the way they manage their players.
Yeah, I mean, you've played down there at Nottingham Forest. That's the point where I really, started to take, notice of you, because jet black hair, this young, good-looking guy, good footballer, Nottingham Forest. You've got the world at your feet. I wonder, do you look back as the glass is half empty or the glass half full on what might have been at Nottingham Forest? It's a sliding doors moment, isn't it?
It very much is. No. Looking back now, it's I've no regrets. It was my own fault the way it ended down there. I come back up to Scotland after playing at Chelsea, and I managed to get myself injured on a Sunday before I went back down to training on the Monday, and I was out for 9 months. And that was just certainly my own fault, and fair play to Brian Clough. He said, you'll not play for the club again because you shouldn't be getting injured on a Sunday afternoon, which is absolutely right. But that sliding doors moment allowed me to go back up to Aberdeen and encounter Willie Miller, who I thought was fantastic. He was a manager who was sitting right in between the two of them, in between Clough, and he was sitting here, he was the balance. And I learned so much from Willie Miller. I learned so much how to deal with people, what was required to speak to football players. And I think that's probably helped me an awful lot in my management, as the influence Willie Miller had on me in terms of dealing with players on a one-to-one basis and as a group.
Yeah, I mean, I wonder about the standard of player that you played with as well. I mean, some of the guys you played alongside, I mean, half of us would kill to have said we played alongside them.
Yeah, some talented players. Going back to Dundee United, Dave Neary for me was just outstanding. Just so cool, he'd just give you the ball, he wouldn't worry. He'd give you the ball and trust you with the ball, even when you were a young kid. He was effortless, and I've got incredible respect for that man. Went down to Forest, there was some unbelievably talented football players down there. Stuart Pearce, Roy Keane, Terry Sheringham, Nigel Clough, Scott Gemmell, Ian Woan, who I thought was a fantastic football player, is now an assistant manager at Burnley with Sean Dyche. I actually got to know Sean Dyche really well down there with Ian Woan. They were really good friends. And even at Aberdeen, really good players. Jim Bett, I thought he was outstanding, you know, just a super football player. But there was many more. Alan McLeish, you know, and you know, but I've been fortunate to play with some fantastic football players. Duncan Ferguson, all the young kids at Dundee United when we were coming through, you know, John O'Neill's, Christian Daly, Alec Cleland's. There was numerous really super talented football players.
Yeah. Did you have a hero?
Kenny Dalglish. Yeah, Kenny Dalglish when I was growing up, and then when I encountered Dave Neary, then you know it was just Dave Neary. I've got great stories about him. You know, see as a young kid when you were on the boots and you were on the kit, you know, you'd go into that dressing room in the morning and the older players would be screaming and shouting at you, "Where's my kit? Where's this? Where's that?" Dave Neary would just walk in, see his kit wasn't there, come through the kit room and politely ask, "Do you mind if I take that?" And we were all just, of course, take what you want, Dave. You know what I mean? It's just the way he was. He was an absolute gentleman, and I've got so much respect for him.
Did that have an impact on you as a person?
It did. It did. I went down to. I had a great story. I was speaking to Gary Boyer recently. He's manager of Blackpool, and he was up training at St Andrews. And when he came into the room, he was going, "Oh, Raymond!" I remember when he joined us, we were in the boot room, and the way he treated all the young players down there, and the bonus I gave them at the. I think it's important to treat people with respect, no matter what age they are, and you know, and I've always tried to do that, and I just think learning from people like Dave Neary, you know, Willie Miller, people like that, I think it's important to treat, you know, everybody with respect, you know, especially players.
Listen, I'm going to leave on this point. What will a chairman, a new club, get now if they appoint a Ray McKinnon?
Well, I'm still highly motivated. You know, I'm very ambitious. I think, you know, I think I'm a very good manager. Maybe I shouldn't say that. No, I think I'm a good manager, and you know, I've got lots to offer, and you know, I'm hungry. And you know, I want to have a right go at this, and I'm really looking forward to get back in, whether that may be in Scotland or abroad. You know, I had a couple of phone calls from America recently that were quite interesting, and but you know, I think the next job's got to be right, and like I said, I'm very ambitious, and I'm desperate to get back in.